Song to start with, wasn't it? It certainly raised the energy. So thank you all for joining us in church tonight. It's lovely to see lots of new faces and lots of regulars too. Thank you to all of you for coming. And of course to everybody watching online as well. Thank you for joining us. We've been welcomed by two wonderful mediums, our dear friends, Richard Baldwin and Brenda Treadgold in church. Welcome both.
Thank you.
And also we are joined by the lovely Jackie Edwards online. So you'll see Jackie a little bit later on if you are indeed watching the service online. So let's start the service then, as we do each week, by just setting that beautiful intention, going into the choir and opening in prayer. So I will hand over to Richard to do that for us. And we will say the Lord's Prayer together after he has done that. Thank you. Thank you, Richard.
The trouble is, I know Brent was talking about crying, but that always makes me tearful, and that links me with a medium, one of my teachers. So if I have a cry tonight, you'll understand. Yes, because certain songs, yeah, they bring back memories, don't they? And yeah, and when we look back and we see all our experiences and all the people we've met and loved and gone through so many things with them, and then that piece of music comes on, it brings it all back. Dear Father God, Great Spirit, Creator of all that is, I am here with Brenda as we seek to be of service this evening to those in spirit as well as those on the earth plane. We are here to create a reunion and rejoice in our connection to those in spirit. And we seek to create an evening of communication through your love and understanding that we have, that life is eternal, and that we will meet up again with those that have passed before us. May we this night share in your love, share in your compassion, your understanding that each of us have a responsibility to share that love, to share that understanding, and be true to who we are. We may know that your love is all around us, but we must learn to trust, learn to love as you, and to be that light and reflect that light that you placed upon us. Amen.
Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you, Richard. And speaking of that lovely light, I light the church candle. We do this as an intention to invite our loved ones to come in close should we want them. So do ask them to come close to you and give you lots of their love this evening as we go into the healing part of the service. So we do this every week. It's very, very important. And just for those that are coming in for the first time, we believe that we're all capable of sending healing thoughts out, and that those thoughts are transferred into a beautiful healing energy that can then sit within the aura and the felt sense of the person that we're sending that love to. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to go into a nice quiet space. Take a couple of deep breaths if you feel comfortable to. Close your eyes and just think of the word love will be enough. So, and then think about those perhaps that are around you in your lives that would benefit from some healing energy. Think about those in your thoughts now. We just feel that beautiful stillness, opening up our heart centres, focusing on that healing light, transferring out to all those that we're thinking about. So through our joint prayers, we place in God's care all those that we come to think of and remember now. We ask for healing to surround Darren, Claire, Derrin and baby, Alfie, Andrea, Tanya, Linda, Anne, Lorraine, Alex, Andrew, Wendy, Charlie, Sandra, Carol, Rachel, Shelley, Donna, Molly, Chris, Melissa, Vicky, Jimmy, James, Tony, Gracie, Sally, Sylvia, and Brian, who's passed to spirit, to Pat, Jeannie, Maggie, Dougie, Jill, David, Sonic the Bird, John S, Jill S, Jenny Wilson, Heather, Joan, Veronica, Cyril, Terry, Billy, Martin, Doreen, Chris, Kelly, Annabelle and Bobby, Steve, Carol and Bill, Carol H, Dennis, Mark, Charlie and Mark, Stuart, Shirley, Peggy, Jill, Slipper the dog, Dee and David Hunt, Karen Gibbons, Jeffrey, Victoria and her 9 cats. Send healing also to the man who lost his life at Southend's half marathon today and all of his family. To Alison Lay, to Linda Weeks, to Jasmine and her 2 babies. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask that you help each and every one of us as we gather here tonight together to connect to that beautiful healing light, that love light that sits within each of us. We ask you to help us as we shine that out to the world and to all those who need healing tonight. We ask for healing to surround all of those people that we've named, and also all those that we think of privately in our minds now. Please surround them with your healing love, your light. Whatever their need may be, we ask you to help them. And we pray, as always, for all of those who are suffering, all those affected by conflict and war, all those that are hungry, cold, homeless, suffering with grief, and of course our animal kingdom, the world of nature and our beautiful Mother Earth. We ask that you give her healing so that she can thrive. We pray for people and countries to unite in love and in peace. And as always, loving Father, please bless all those that are joining in this prayer tonight. We ask that they too receive. We ask all of this in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. So now we'll just sit for a minute. Just continue to send that loving energy. And just a last name that's been added online, we ask for healing to go to Michael Mosley's family after their sad loss. So this quiet minute will be broken by Gracious Spirit. The words are in your hymn books. Thank you. Gracious Spirit, may thy presence shed a healing ray, tearing all veils of darkness to glorious day. Gracious Spirit, wouldst thou flame, be the light and guide, lead us through thy we are lost one, running from the Lovely, thank you. So feeling very proud now to invite Peter up with all of his medals for his the Bible reading this evening, and looking very smart to celebrate 80 years of D-Day. Can hear him coming. Here he goes. Thank you, Peter.
Evening all. Lovely to see you all here with your angels, a nice packed church. Welcome to those online. Today we celebrate D-Day, the 6th of June 1944, 80 years ago, the Operation Overlord. This week has been all memorials, meetings and parades, and a lot of television coverage. And there can't be a greater occasion to make memory of. D-Day, the momentous day in Europe history. It was the greatest sea invasion in history. It was land, sea, and air, and many nations took part. It was planned to commence on the 5th, but due to bad weather at the time, it was delayed, and a day waiting for a slight change in the weather. There were terrible losses, and is it a marvel on those veterans who have survived to attend the 80th memorial services, all approaching 100 years of age, the youngest of 96, the eldest of 103. But I heard on television this afternoon that there is one surviving who's 104 and a half. I was 11 and a half years of age on D-Day, and we learned and followed the invasion in our schools. Even then, it was a momentous time. It was considered the change of the war. Today, we are here to remember those who gave their all and died, and those who returned with life-changing injuries. In remembrance, let me read. Let us remember before God and commend to his sure keeping those who have died for their country, those we knew and those whose memory we treasure, and all who have lived and died in the service of humanity. And I just ask you to take a few minutes silence in remembrance of those people. Thank you. Tonight's reading is about a turning point and contains some valuable messages. Once we find the key to the scriptures, or in this reading, the psalm, it opens up our understanding of the message. The Bible deals with the cause and effect. June, 80 years ago, one of the greatest kept secrets and deceptions of World War II was when the whole of the south coast of Britain was filled with troops and military equipment to push back the invading enemy of Europe. As I said last week, we have concentrated all the Bible readings on love, spiritual love, and relationships with each other. This is because it's the main and fundamental purpose that we're here on earth to learn. It would be great if we were to make that stride forward in meeting that requirement, not just here today, but nationally and internationally. Humans have a long history of wars, killing, cruelty, etc., which rate back through the Old Testament. And to demonstrate this, I have chosen Psalm 124 and 125 from David in the Old Testament. Whereas Jesus Christ of the New Testament, the great healer and teacher, came in human form, using himself to demonstrate that we had not moved on, and showed how seriously the people still strayed from God's commandment, the wisdom of love. If we think about it, the power of love inhibits all wars, cruelty, and evil doings. If only we could learn and use this simple truth, or just try it for a while, we would recognize the power. The reading tonight is from the ascent of David, when he raises the failure of war. In truth, there are no winners and no purists in the raging of war. As humans react and conflict ensures, and we always need to be rescued by the Lord. David explains how the Lord continues to put things right, moving the evil and putting back peace, and a place that surrounds the people again with love. Love your neighbour. Psalm 124, how the Lord saved us. If the Lord had not been on our side, let Israel say, if the Lord had not been on our side when the people attacked us, they would have swallowed us alive when their anger flared against us. The flood would have engulfed us. The torrent would have swept over us. The raging waters would have swept us away. Praise be to the Lord, who has not let us be torn by their teeth. We have escaped like a bird from the fowler's snare. The snare has been broken, and we have escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Now follow with Psalm 125, how the Lord watches over us. Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be shaken but endures forever. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people, both now and forevermore. The sculptor of the wicked will not remain over the land allotted to the righteous, for then the righteous might use their hands to do evil. Lord, do good to those who are good, to those who are upright in the heart. But those who turn to crooked ways, the Lord will banish with the evildoers. Peace be on Israel. God bless that reading, and thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, everybody. Be nice to think that we've actually learned as a humankind from World War II, but clearly we haven't. We have to turn the news on to feel that sadness that is still going on in the world. But still, we continue to look to the light and send the love out, because that really is all that we can do. And I'm just going to ask that we raise our energy in the next song. I will say goodbye to those watching online first of all. So over to you, Rob and Jackie. Have a wonderful service. Lots of love from all of us here in church. Good night. Yeah.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thanks very much for joining me here this evening. It was very poignant what Peter was saying today regarding the 80th anniversary. It does bring a lot of memories of the stories that my mum and my father used to tell me regarding all the sacrifices that they had to make. And I know that my dad lost 2 brothers in the war, and my mum had to give up quite a bit of her home life because she had to go look after her siblings who were evacuated with her. And as she was the eldest, she was like the second mum. And it wasn't easy for them because they was taken out into Surrey. And because they came from the East End, they had very strong East End accents and they were ridiculed and bullied. And when they come back home, they had a very a sort of different kind of accent. When they come back to London, it was a little bit more rounded. So again, it's not only the people that sadly gave their lives, and I do appreciate them, everything they gave, but it's also the little things that we take for granted as well, isn't it? It's the little things like being able to do what we want to do within reason, the freedom of our choices, the freedom that we can do this for a start is talking with each other online and inviting spirit in, because of cultures and other times this would have been frowned upon. And thank goodness that those times have changed. But I'd like to just give a little bit of an address first, if I may. And it's just reminding us all of everything that happens in our life is a big plan of that has been planned and organised for us before we got here, not only by the Almighty or the great power or the eternal light, whatever you would like to call spirit, but also by your own soul. Your own soul chooses what it wants to achieve, what it wants to experience, what kind of hardships that it wants to go through to enable it to become more aware of earthly life. And yet there are very, very, very many of you who are watching and listening today that have been through terrible things, myself included. But I always keep in myself in that upstairs, as I like to call it, spirit, know what is right for us. And there have been many times where I thought in my life that things had gone awfully wrong, and it's only later on down the line as to why they went wrong, and it became clear. And I was thankful for the opportunity to change my direction. At the time, it was difficult, yes, but it proved that it was the right time for me. So all I want to say to you guys today is yes, a lot of people are going through a lot of hard times, and I do not want to make that light at all, because it's not. But I just want you to keep in the back of your mind that things will get better. It only seems that the dark times only seem to last forever because our souls need that length of experience, length of hardship to learn that kind of lesson. And it's when the good times are here that they blur back into the background. There are plenty of times where people have been through, I've spoken to, extremely hard times, but when they're over and things get better, they can see what happened and why it happened. So please forgive the little bit of a long meander down the path of lessons, but it's just something I wanted to share with you. So thank you very much for listening to me. Right, so while I was waiting to speak to you, I write down names as they come up. I'm still writing down names as they come up, so please just bear with me while I do this very quickly, because I know that some of you have joined me whilst I was talking, and because when I'm talking I can't write at the same time, which I'm finding it hard to write down as I'm doing it now. So but there is a lady that I would like to speak to, if I may please, is Nicola Clare. So Nicola, if you're there, please can you just let me know, Nicola. I do have a lady that's coming forward, and Nicola, when your name come up, she come forward, and I do feel that this lady was a grandmother or grandmother figure. Oh, thank you, Nicola. This lady who come forward, she is she's a large, I won't call her a big lady, but she's larger, like I would call a typical nan shape, like one of these cuddly nans. She wouldn't have been short. She would have been about 5'3", I suppose. I mean, I'm only 5 foot and a little bit myself, so anyone over 5 foot is tall, but she's making me feel that she wasn't short in the fact of being under 5 foot, but she was about 5'3", 5'4". She would have been quite a lot. I'm looking at her now, actually. She would have been quite a larger lady, and she would have had a little bit of order while she walked. Now, I do feel that she is a grandmother figure to you, whether she's a grandmother or a great grandmother. But I know she's coming through with that mum's love. Okay, because she's feeling that mum's love. So can you just let me know as to whether you can take this lady? I will try and describe her to you. She would have had quite a rounded face. Her cheeks would have been quite rosy, I would say, like a rosy glow to them, but it would have been the skin. Oh, lovely. Thank you very much, my darling. She wants to come into you today and just say to you that, yes, things are at the moment more difficult than they have been for a while, but she just wants you to hang on in there. That's exactly what she's saying, is hang on in there, because everything is going to be okay. And I think that my little bit of a talk would have resonated a lot with you today about things happening and not really knowing the reason why. But I do know that your nan, she's coming in and she wants to say to you that, yes, things are a little bit difficult at the moment, but please know that you're almost coming to the end of it now. It has been quite a while, but she just wants to say to you that you've been so brave and you've been so strong. Don't give up now, because she can feel the resolve in you just starting to weigh a little bit. Oh, lovely. Thank you very much. She also wants to say, can I just confirm you have a daughter, please, my darling? Because she's talking about a little girl. She's talking about a younger girl, not a little girl. She talks about a younger girl who is going through, I don't want to say like a crisis at all, but it's almost like she's trying to find herself. She's trying to find her. Lovely. Thank you. She's trying herself, and things are a little bit. Nan's making me feel as if there's nothing. Everything you do is wrong. If you do nothing, it's wrong. If you do something, it's wrong. If you talk to her, it's wrong. If you don't talk to her, it's wrong. So can you take that, please? Because Nan's making me understand this young girl is having a bit of a identity crisis. Would you call? She's not really sure where she's going or where she's coming from. all she knows is she is absolutely confused. Thank you, darling. But Nan's just saying, you know, it's just the same sort of thing that you went through when you was younger, because you didn't really know where you fitted in with everything that's going on. And I do feel, not that she is meant to feel the odd one out, but that's how she feels. She feels as if she's not fitting in somewhere, whether it's at school, whether it's at home, whether it's within a situation. But she is saying that you know, just to know that spirit know what's going on with your daughter, and they just want you to know that they're giving her healing and that they're trying to steer her in the right direction. She is a very sensitive, a very spiritual young girl herself. She does, if she doesn't see spirit, then she does hear spirit, and it's a little bit confusing to her. So if you could just, difficult, I know, because talking to her is like trying to grab a tiger by the tail. You're not really sure as whether it's going to turn around and lick you or bite your hand off. But please just bear with her a little bit, because she is trying to sort things through. But she's also feeling a little bit of a loss herself. So I'm not 100% sure as to whether there's been a loss of an animal around you. But I do feel that there's been a loss around your daughter. So she is also feeling that as well, trying to come to terms with that. So if you can just let me know as to, yeah, lovely. Oh, bless her. Excuse me, I'll have a little drink. My voice is really dry. Okay. Nan's also saying to you that you ought to just sit quietly yourself and you'll get the answers, because you do ask questions of spirit, and when you get the answers, you believe that it's just your imagination hoping that the answers you're getting are right. Please know that the answers you're getting are the answers from spirit, my darling. Okay. Okay, my darling. I'm being given September for you, my darling. September as an important month for you. I'm also being given the number 28. 28. And I'm also being given the month of July, so next month. Lovely, thank you. Please take your Nan's love, my darling. Know that she's with you. Oh, that's, oh, lovely, 28th. Oh, wonderful. Oh, your Nan's so clever. She really is. Please take her love, my darling. Know that things are starting to come to the end of the little bit of a blip you've been going through. And yeah, the blip seems to be more of a hill or a mountain than anything else. But Nan just wants you to know that you're at the end of it now. So I really hope that helps you a little bit and keeps your chin up a little bit, my darling. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for working with me, Nicola. It's been a great pleasure to work with you, Nan. She's such a lovely lady. Thank you. Let me just tick you off the list, Nicola. Not that I mean to be rude, but I don't want to sort of like know that I've got to go to someone. So let me just, Chloe Boreham, if you can come forward. Hello, Chloe. Can you just come forward for me, please? I have a gentleman that's coming in now. Now, this gentleman, he is coming through with Dad's love, but I don't feel he's Dad. Okay. Chloe, if you can just let me know that you are around. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. I do have a gentleman here. He would have been quite a tall gentleman. As he's come through my door, by the looks of him, he would have been about 5'10", 5'11". I do, your granddad, lovely, thank you. Because I do feel that he would have come through with that love. So it would have been like another dad to you. It would have been that kind of relationship you had. Excuse me. And I do know that he would have had problems with his throat, his voice, because he's making me having trouble talking. So I do know that it's either his throat or the top part of his chest he would have had problems with, my darling. Okay. So you can take that away now, Granddad. Thank you very much. Thank you. Excuse me. Okay, so as he's coming forward, my darling, I do know that he's also bringing in another younger man with him. And I do feel this younger man would have been either a brother or someone like a brother to you. So I do know that this younger man is linked to you. So if you can just confirm that, or if not, let me know, and then I'll ask who it is, please. But I do know that this younger man would have had darker hair. Now, to me, he looks late 20s, early 30s, but then again, with spirit, I can't really, you can't really tell how old they are when they go over, because they can show themselves at any age. They do to me anyway. But there is a younger man with him, and he would have, as I say, would have had dark hair, but he would have had the most piercing blue eyes. Absolutely piercing blue eyes. So can you just confirm that, please, Madame? Oh, lovely. He was a son from another mother. Oh, lovely. Thank you. But he's coming through with your granddad, just to give you that kind of knowledge that life does carry on no matter what. Now, I'm not really sure where this message is going. I'm just repeating what he's giving me. So please know, Chloe, that if you're feeling a little bit down at the moment, please know that it's things only seem to last a lot longer, as I said in my message. Things only seem to last a lot longer when you're not feeling 100%, because it's something we need to learn, my darling. Okay, and I do feel that kind of I don't want to say it's a pain, because it's that it's almost as if it's a kind of ache inside you have. Thank you, my darling. So they're both coming through, and they're just bringing through this enormous amount of love, this beautiful green energy for around your heart, my darling. Okay, just to give it a little, just to mend it a little, because I do know that your heart's been almost cracked into two, and I do know that they're bringing this colour into you, and to try and put your two pieces of heart together. I do feel this would be more of an emotional break than it would be a break of losing someone very dear to you. But I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm just saying that it feels to me like it's an emotional break that you've had, my darling. Okay, and they just want to say that they're around you, they're supporting you, they're giving you that upliftment and that love and that strength to be able to just pick up the pieces and start putting them together. Because I do know there was a time not that long ago where you thought about taking the pieces and throwing them away. And I'm so glad that you didn't do that, my darling, because you are so greatly needed by an awful lot of people around you. But also, I do feel that that there's a lot of there are children around you that do rely on you a lot as well. Now, if they're not your children, I do know there are children around that do rely on you, and I do see two boys and a girl. Now, if I got that wrong, I do apologize, but this is how I'm seeing the energies around you, my darling. Okay, so can you just let me know, confirm that, please, my sweet, if I've picked that up right. Okay, so where are we going with this, my guys? Okay, oh, thank you very much. They're coming into you now because they can feel that kind of resolve. It's almost as if you felt as if you wanted to go, that's it, I'm done. But then this resolve come out of nowhere, and it sort of just picked you up, putting you back together piece by piece and making you go on. This is spirit around you. This is all your family and friends and loved ones all around you in spirit that are giving you this energy and starting to put you all back together again. So I hope you can understand that, Chloe. Okay, now your granddad is also giving me April for a very important important month for you, but he's also given me October as well, please, my darling, if you can understand that. October, and thank you. It's also talking about a family tree. So I don't know whether you've been sorting out, or whether you know someone who is piecing together a family tree, but it's almost as if you found a branch of the family that you wasn't really aware of, or whether that's starting to develop now. But I do know that there's a family tree that's being sorted out. So April got married, October was this, but oh, thank you very much. And you get that. Thank you very much, my darling. Okay. Okay. Anything else from these guys, my darling? Okay. They just want to say that they're so proud of the way that you've to pick yourself up, my sweet. Oh, bless. Okay. And please know that they're with you every step of the way with you, and that now you've got over that summit of this awful climb. You've had to come up almost free climb it without a safety net on your own, and it's been, I know all the additives are coming in here now, but you've got up to the pinnacle now, and you're now on a level pegging of being able to walk and gather yourself now, my darling. So I do hope that helps you. God bless you, my sweet. I do know that Spirit are giving you so much love, and the love that I'm feeling from them is like a washing of this beautiful feeling of washing away all the pain and all the anguish and all the worry. So I do hope you start feeling that, my darling. Okay. Lots of love to you, my dear. That's from your granddad, not from me, because that's be a bit precocious, wouldn't it? But granddad's saying lots of love from me, my dear, and he blew a kiss like that, my sweet. Okay, so God bless you, my sweet. Thank you. Let me just. Whew, a really emotional one. The emotion in the messages was lovely. Okay. You're welcome, Chloe. I really enjoyed working with your granddad and that other gentleman. He was a very sweet man. Okay. Let me see whereabouts I'm being drawn to now. Maddie Mills, Maddie, if you can come forward, please. Maddie, if you can just let me know that you're around. Okay, who have I got here? This gentleman does feel that I've got here. He does feel like a father. Please forgive me if your father's still here. But Mandy, if you're with me, Mandy Mills, if you can come forward, my sweet, and let me know that you are still around. Mandy. This gentleman I have with me, he does feel very, very much like Dad. I'm if it's not Dad, my darling, but that's still an earth plane. Okay. If it's not Dad, then it would have been someone who would have been like a father to you. So it could have been grandfather, it could have been a friend's dad, it could have been someone who you would have been able to relate to, like a father. And I'm not saying like having that wonderful, beautiful relationship that daughters have with their dads, but it's this kind of the way that this gentleman's come in, and it's almost as if he's got this wonderful protective love around you. Okay, it could very well be thank you, could very well be granddad, but I do feel that he would have passed over. He wouldn't have made very old bones, and he doesn't feel as if he was very, very old when he passed over. I would say, I don't know, in his late 60s, early 70s. That's how he's making me feel. And if that's incorrect, I do apologise for that. But I do know he wasn't an old man when he went over the other side. So can you just confirm that, please, or otherwise, please, Mandy? So this gentleman's coming in at the moment, and he's being very, very polite, and he's waiting. Oh, lovely. Yes, 70s. Yeah, I didn't think he was old when he went over. I know that when people are in their 20s, they think 70's old, but believe you me, the nearer you get to 70, it seems, believe me. So this gentleman is coming is coming in a little bit stronger now. He was back a little bit, and he was just waiting for you to just acknowledge him. So I do know he would have been a very private man. He wouldn't have been a very outspoken person, but when he had things to say, it meant something. And he was a very wise man. He gave some wonderful advice, and he's just saying to you at the moment that you could really do with someone's advice at the moment. It's not that you don't know how to deal with the situation yourself, but it's just having the confirmation that what you're doing is the correct way in dealing with it. Because I do feel there's a situation around you where you feel as if you're like a fish out of water, beg your pardon, a fish out of water with the situation. And he just wants you to know that you've got every ability to deal with this, no matter what. And I know sometimes there's things that are sent to us that seem so difficult and sort of just so difficult, you can't really get your head around it. But Grandad just wants to say to you that you're starting to deal with it in the right way. It's taken you a little bit of a while to I don't feel it's confidence to deal with it, but it's the right time to deal with it. Okay, lovely. Thank you, Bat. Thank you very much. He's also talking about another man that's on the earth plane, and he's saying this gentleman on the earth plane is being I don't want to say dishonest, because that's not correct, but it's not telling the whole truth, if that makes sense. And I do feel this is where the situation is around you, of not really knowing how to deal with this. Okay, thank you very much. So Grandad just wants to say to you, look, there's lots of things that have happened to you through your life that have really made you well equipped to deal with everything that's been thrown at you now. And he just wants to say to you, look, there's things that your mum went through, that you saw her going through, that you're having to deal with now, if that makes sense, please. They're not telling me everything, because obviously it's a public forum, and I'm very, very aware of, I can't really go into it, but he is making me aware of what it is, but I'm not at liberty to say that, my darling, but you know what the issues are. And he just wants to say to you, you're doing so well. Just keep the strength up. Don't be swayed by someone's ability to spin the yarn, as your Grandad is saying. I do feel the person who you're having to deal with at the moment is really clever at manipulating a situation to make it better for them than it is for you. So just be aware of that ability that this person has, and just be aware of it, if that makes sense, my darling. Okay, lovely, thank you. Okay, I'm being given January as the date for you, my darling. Okay, and I'm also being given 41 as well. Now 41 could be a number, it could be an age that someone is. Okay, thank you, my darling. 41 could be an age, it could be a door number, it could be something like a bus or something that that you used to get on. Could even be the 4th of January, because I know January has been given to you, so it could be the 4th of January, or January is that. Oh, bless. Okay, it wouldn't be the 4th of January, because that'd be blooming amazing if that was so. Excuse me. That you've got to be a little bit more. Thank you. You've got to be a little bit more aware of what of your tummy area, please. I am being made aware that your tummy area is a little bit. uncomfortable, shall we say. So I know you're being given healing from spirit as well. Okay, not the fourth. That's a shame. So around your tummy area, I do know you're being given a lot of healing for that as well. But it could just be a nervous thing as well with your tummy. Okay. So Mandy, thank you so much for being such a lovely lady and letting me know that things were going in the right direction with your message. But know that Grandad, his yeah, I can feel it in my tummy, my darling. My stomach is feeling really uncomfortable. It's sort of like burning. It's not a very nice feeling. So not that I want you to have it back, but I don't really want it. So Spirit can take it away from both of us. Thank you. God bless, my darling. I hope that everything is works out for you. And as Grandad said, just keep your wits about you regarding a person. Okay, my darling. Lots of love to you, my sweet. Thank you. Okay. So let's cross that lady off because she's been lovely. Okay. Where else we're going to go? Okay. Jenna Belcher, please. Jenna Belcher. If you can just come forward and let me know. Oh, thank you, my darling. Thank you very much. Jenna, if you can just let me know that you're around. Thank you. Thanks, Jenna. Okay. Jenna, I do have a lady that's coming, and she does feel like I'm getting all these mixed signals from her. She's got this mum feeling, but she would have either been a nan or a great nan, or I don't feel that she would have been mum. And if I do apologise for that, but it's something regarding the love connection. It's very difficult to pinpoint. So can you just confirm or let me know as to whether mum's in spirit, please? And if she's not, then this must be Nan, please, my darling. Okay, if you can just let me know, my sweet, and we can carry on with what this lady wants. Okay. Mum, okay, so this must be Nan then, my darling. Okay, I didn't feel that it was mum because it didn't feel like that, but the connection I have with this lady is a weird one because it's almost half and half and Nan. It's sort of like a little bit of both. It's almost like she was an advisor of you, but she was also someone who showed you a lot regarding life. That makes sense. So if you can just let me know as to whether that's, because I'm just getting establishing this connection with this lady, and if you can just let me know, my darling, because then I can carry on with this lady, because it's the confirmation or opposite that helps me to go on with this. So can you just let me know, Jenna? There might be your mum's best friend. Okay, let me just try and describe this lady. I know that she would have had shoulder length straight blonde hair, and I know that she would have had she would have been ill for a while, because I know that she's making me feel as if she had to fight an illness before she passed away, and she's making me feel as if it's her dignity and her way that she fought everything regarding her that's made you understand that things can work out different to what they seem. Seems a really I don't know, out there kind of connection at the moment. So let me just try and get a little bit more, please, Jenna. Okay, please bear with me. Okay, come on in, my darling. Come on. Okay. Right, at the moment she's bringing in a bunch of white flowers. I don't know whether white flowers have anything, but they're little ones, and I'm not really sure what they're called. All I know, they've got little heads on them, almost like the Michaelmas daisies. You know, those great the giant daisies that grow in the hedgerows and stuff like that. Very similar to that, but they're almost like a pansy kind of flower. But I know they're white, and she's bringing in a bunch of those. So I don't know whether that's relevant. Okay, thank you very much. Would you have been to recently a christening, please? Because they do feel as if it's for a child. Okay, let me have that. Oh, bless. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now this lady, Jenna, if you can just let me know whether this is correct. This lady is bringing in a young child. So forgive me for asking you, have you lost a young child? Because these flowers are indicative of like young children. And I know that she's bringing you a bunch of these flowers in. So could you let me know, please, Jenna? Just let me know, either type in yes or no, or I don't know, or anything to let me know so I can carry on with this message. Otherwise, I'm going to have to break the link because I need your communication with this. Okay, that I don't really want to make it fit, my darling, because this did feel like as if it was a child that had touched the earth plane and gone over. Now, if it wasn't with you, then it must be someone around you very close who would have lost this child. And I do feel that this lady is linked to that lady. Okay. Now, let's try and get something in for you, my darling, because it's not fair that I've called you and this lady's come in with all this and she's not showing me where she's going with it. Okay, just 1 second. Oh, lovely. Okay, yes, that feels right with the friend who lost a baby. Thank you very much, because I do know that these are I do know that this lady just wants. Oh, okay, I've got it now. This lady, she is your mum's best friend. Okay, she wants your mum to know that she's fine, and she is looking after all the babies that pass over, and it's such a wonderful job role for her, because she would have absolutely loved children, and I just want your friend to know, who lost a child, that this child is being taken care of by this beautiful lady, and she's got such a lot of love to give, and her life was cut short to that she had all this love to give her family, and she didn't have enough time to give everything. So I do know that she's got very much of a lot of love and understanding regarding children, my darling. Okay. Now, regarding you at the moment, Jenna, she is making me feel that yes, everyone's having these blooming awful times at the moment, with like the lack of funds and sort of hardships and things like that. But this lady just wants to say to you, do you know what? You are doing wonders with the little bits you have, because you just make it last forever. And she's saying you still have the chance to help out other people as well. And she just wants to say, as a big thank you from Spirit, for being such a wonderful friend and a wonderful human being, to be able to help people who are worse off than you. And she just wants to say thank you for that, because she didn't want this evening to go without her acknowledging how much she wants you to know that you're appreciated by Spirit, my darling. Okay. Please take her love. I know that was a really quick one. I really do apologise, but I feel that's all she needed to do. Let your friend know that her child was okay. Okay, and to give your friend this message. to know that her baby is being looked after. Okay, my darling. Lots of love to you from Spirit, my darling. Okay. Thank you, Jenna. Okay. Whew. Okay, they've been all very emotional. I think I've got time for just one more. Let me have a little look. Okay, let's see who I've got here first. Oh, okay, thank you very much, Kelly. Kelly Chambers, if you can come in, please, my darling Kelly. I have this wonderful man that's standing right in front of me. He would have been one of these gentlemen that when he walked into a room, he would have lit it up. Not so much with what you said, but it just by being in his energy. He would have had one of these energies. Kelly, if you can just let me know that you're around, please, Kelly, because I do know that this gentleman is really does want to come in to you. Okay, Kelly, I'm going to have to call it short very, very soon. In case you're still listening, Kelly, this gentleman, he would have been a kind of gentleman who when he walked into the room, his energy would have just come before him, and he would have been one of these people who people would just want to flock to. And I do feel that this gentleman is either an uncle or a father, okay? And he just wants to say to you that, yes, it was him that you saw. So please, Kelly, if you can take that, please know that was this gentleman you saw in your doorway. He's in your doorway. So I know there must have been an outline, or there must have been a shimmer, there must have been something in the doorway, this gentleman, and he just wants you to know that it was him, my darling. Okay. Okay. I really don't want it to go without Kelly. Hello, sorry, Kelly. Did you hear all that, my darling? I had this gentleman who came through. He would have been a kind of gentleman that his energy would have been. He would have had this wonderful aura around him that when he walked into a room, everyone would have felt like they wanted to flock to him. That kind of personality. Okay. Would you understand this, gentleman? Because if it's not you, my darling, then please just let me know. Because I do feel this gentleman really does want to come through really, really quickly. It's really unusual for me to get someone who I don't know where it's coming from. And your name was shown to me first. So if it's not you, Kelly, can you just let me know, please? Because I know I'm really running out of time. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. So, Kelly, this gentleman would have been I don't know, he would have been a man before his time, if that makes sense. He wouldn't have been a typical grandfather. He would have been more of a modern kind of man, okay? And he would have had a kind of personality around him who anyone could have approached. And he was a very special part of your life. And he just wants to say to you that it was him. Doorway, my darling. Okay, that is what he wanted to say to you, that you saw either a shimmer, either like a shape, or you saw a shadow or something in a doorway, and he just wants to say to you, yes, it was him. So he wants to say thank you very, very much for acknowledging him, because you had a feeling it may have been him, because you was thinking about him at the time. So please I hope that was okay for you, my darling. Okay. I think that's about it. And I think that I'm coming at the end of the time now. So thank you very much. Oh, bless. Thank you very much. I knew that he really wanted you to know that it was him. It was so important, because you had an idea that it was him, but you wanted that confirmation. So thank you very much for allowing that. So thank you, everyone, for listening to me waffle on. Thank you for the people who took messages that I had today of spirit, and God bless everyone. Thank you so much for working with me this evening. Thank you.
Oh, bless you, Jackie. Thank you so much. Lovely messages. We've got Frank's animal cards, and then we'll come back to you for a closing prayer, if that's all right.
Thank you.
Lovely. Okay, friends. Well, good to see you all online tonight. Thank you for joining us. Lovely to have Jackie back with us again tonight. But as you know, we can't get around to everyone in the evening, and that's why Frank from our church draws 3 of his animal cards each week, so everyone can take an uplifting message and some thoughts away for the week ahead. So let's see what Frank has for us this week.
Good evening. Our first crystal this evening is the amethyst. With that goes the card for the Maasai lion and the lamb, and symbolises strength. The Maasai lion and the lamb symbolise strength through kindness, forgiveness and compassion, and great inner reserves of courage, patience, and getting what you want with a gentle touch, and also believing in yourself. The Maasai lion and the lamb help you resolve differences with a gentle touch, and challenges are able to be overcome with kindness and grace. The lion and the lamb together send the message that you're stronger than you may realise. They also tell the story of extending forgiveness to others and ourselves. And patience may be necessary when these two come together. The pairing of the Maasai lion with the lamb illustrates strength that is easy to understand. The lion represents pure courage, power and size, while the lamb is symbolic of gentleness, vulnerability and weakness. In the Christian tradition, the lion and the lamb are both references to the life of Jesus himself and the way he behaved, and his offering of courage and kindness towards all. You have that same grace and compassion within you. This card also emphasises that strength is not about size, not about how fierce you are. And oddly enough, there are times when the answer to dealing with a difficult problem is to allow the weaker person, the smaller, more vulnerable, to deal with the situation. So it asks that you apply loving strength to your situation and to everyone around you. And our second crystal is the citrine, and with that goes the card for the leopard. This card is all about wisdom born of experience, of being prepared for all possibilities, and about determination and perseverance. The leopard says, it's time now to rely on all you've learnt. Your broad and varied life experience has prepared you for this moment, and you are absolutely ready for it. Use your knowledge kindly and with humour. You could probably stand to put your own house in order if there was clutter around you. And if there are situations that simply don't work for you anymore, or people who merely create more drama than happiness, then grab that broom and sweep them out of your life. The leopard represents a person who is experienced, self-sufficient and brilliant. She has seen it all and can assess any situation at a glance. She always knows exactly what to do and is more than happy to help you. although she may tease you a little on the way. She's very good-natured and insightful. The challenges she has endured have made her stronger and more able to cope with life. That being said, she learned long ago not to keep people in her life who take but never give back. She really can't abide the drama queen and will quickly send them packing. If she offers you advice, then take it. But do try to keep up, because you'll be on to the next challenge and ready to fix it before you've written down the one she spoke to you about first. Leopards are graceful, powerful, and intelligent. Their habitat ranges from desert to the rainforest, meaning their lives are very eventful, posing many challenges, yet they always bounce back. They are also the only member of the big cat family that cannot walk backwards. Therefore, if you've chosen this card, they symbolise that you are a person, if you know you are right, if you know what you're planning is the right thing, you will stand your ground and move forward, no matter how difficult the challenge may be. They are symbolic of your own life and your desire to emerge from the situation stronger, swifter and smarter. The leopard has learned to believe in itself and trust its instincts, and invites you to do the same. And our third crystal is the rose quartz, and with that is the card for the polar bear. The polar bear is about transformation, intuition, awakening, and the faith to withstand a challenge. Polar bears represent deep growth. They symbolise the importance of having an experienced teacher or mentor to guide you on your journey. Due to their extreme living conditions, they may appear to suggest a black and white approach to decision making. So ask, is this one of those times when a traditional route makes the most sense? Or is thinking strategically to come up with a more original plan the order of the day? The polar bear asks you to deal with challenges in a flexible way. This card also indicates the need to seek out mentors and spiritual guidance who can help you understand who you truly are and help you embrace growth and evolution, and then share that knowledge with others. Polar bears are symbolic of a meaningful moment in evolution. Their lives call for solitude and introspection, but also compassion and love for their offspring. By following their example, you will enrich your life immensely. Polar bears are extremely intelligent and unable to adapt to their surroundings. Likewise, this card asks you to examine your situation carefully and with an open mind so that you can adjust your plans accordingly. 3 cards there, very much with the message, look at what you're doing, plan carefully, think ahead, and show kindness rather than strength. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Lovely. Thank you, Frank. Okay, friends, let's bring tonight's service to a close. We'll go back to Jackie for a closing prayer, and then I'll play out the closing Vesper. Grant us thy peace. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you very much. If you'd like to pray with me, Great Spirit, eternal light, thank you so much for allowing me to work with your spirit for this short time this evening. And thank you so much for all our friends and family that came through and gave those wonderful messages of proof of life after life. I'd like to ask that the energies that have been generated here this evening be sent out into the world where it is greatly needed at this time. I also ask that a ring of protection be placed around each and every one of us who are connected here this evening and the homes that we all represent, until we all meet again. Amen.
Well, big thank you to Jackie Edwards, our medium online tonight. Thank you for the address and those wonderful messages as always. Great to have you with us. Thank you to our mediums in church. That was Richard and Brenda tonight in church. Hope you had a good evening in church, everyone. Thank you to Donna for chairing in church. Thank you to Peter for the special D-Day Bible reading tonight. And thank you to Frank for the cards at the end there. Thank you everyone for joining us online tonight and watching and taking part. Hope you have a great week ahead, and I hope you can join us next Sunday at 6:30 again. But until then, take care. Good night.